You know that feeling when you're driving home from work, or maybe folding laundry at 10 p.m., and this quiet voice whispers, "Is this really it? Is this all there is?" Like you're watching your own life through a window instead of living it. Maybe you've built a good life, stable job, maybe a family, responsibilities handled, but something's missing. Not a midlife crisis, exactly. More like a gentle ache for more. More meaning, more you. That's exactly where my friend Sarah was 3 years ago. 34, working a solid corporate HR job, feeling like a ghost in her own life. Then she did something brave. Not dramatic, not reckless, but deeply courageous. She started making small, intentional pivots. Today, she runs her own thriving artisan bakery, works 25 hours a week, and radiates a calm joy I hadn't seen in her since college. Sarah's story isn't about luck or genius. It's about 6 specific, stealable pivots anyone can make, especially after 30, when we're wise enough to know what matters, but often feel too stuck to change. That's what we're diving into today. How to move from feeling trapped to truly self-made, not by burning your life down, but by turning the ship, degree by quiet degree. We'll start with the first 2 pivots, the ones that lay the foundation for everything else. The first pivot, creating your untouchable hour. This isn't about grand gestures. It's about carving out 60 sacred minutes, just for you, before the world claims your time and energy. For Sarah, this meant waking at 5:30 a.m. before her family stirred. No emails, no news, no scrolling. Just her, a notebook, and the quiet. In that hour, she asked herself one simple question. What would make today feel truly mine? Sometimes it was sketching pastry designs. Sometimes it was researching local commercial kitchens. For 3 months, it was just sitting in silence, relearning how to breathe without panic. The magic isn't in what you do. It's in fiercely protecting that hour like it's your lifeline. Because it is. It's where you remember who you are beyond your job title or parent role. It's where neglected dreams whisper again. That hour wasn't about the bakery, Sarah told me. It was about reclaiming my right to exist for myself. Start small. Can you find 30 minutes? Even 15. Guard it like a mama bear. Put it in your calendar in red ink. This hour becomes your compass. Now the second pivot, embracing done perfect. This one stings, especially for us high achievers. We wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect skill set, and wait and wait. Meanwhile, life passes. Sarah dreamed of baking professionally for years, but felt paralyzed. I'm not trained. My kitchen is too small. What if I fail? Her pivot? She committed to imperfect action. She started baking one simple sourdough loaf every Saturday. Not to sell, not to post online, just to finish something. No fancy flour, no professional photography. Just flour, water, salt, and done. The first loaf was dense as a brick. The 5th was edible. The 20th, friends begged to buy it. Perfectionism is just fear in fancy clothes, she laughs now. Baking that ugly first loaf broke the spell. Your version might look different. Writing one raw page of that memoir. Recording a clumsy voice note for a podcast idea. Sending a rough draft of your business plan to a trusted friend. The goal isn't brilliance, it's completion. Each finished thing, no matter how small, builds your courage muscle and proves to yourself, I am capable of creating change. What's beautiful about these first 2 pivots? They don't require quitting your job or appending your life. They work in the cracks of your existing reality. That untouchable hour, it's your anchor. Embracing done, it's your engine. Together, they create the momentum and the clarity for what comes next. We'll explore 2 more powerful shifts soon. But for now, where could you carve out 60 minutes this week? What's one tiny, imperfect thing you could finish? Your turn to build. Word count, 1020. You know what happened after Sarah started baking those imperfect loaves? Something unexpected. It wasn't just about the bread. It was about what that simple act unlocked in her. That quiet proof that she could start something messy and see it through began to ripple into other corners of her life. She started noticing how much energy she'd been pouring into things that didn't light her up. Saying yes to draining social obligations, staying late at a job that had stopped challenging her years ago. scrolling numbly instead of creating. That's when she made her third pivot, and it's one I see so many of us resist, especially when we're used to being the strong one, the reliable one. She decided to build her scaffold team. Think about it. When a building goes up, it's surrounded by scaffolding, temporary support that holds everything steady while the structure grows strong enough to stand alone. Sarah realized she needed that too. Not cheerleaders telling her everything was perfect, but honest, practical support. She started small. First, she confided in her sister about her bakery dream, not asking for anything, just naming it aloud. Then, she joined a free online community for aspiring food entrepreneurs. Finally, and this was the hardest, she hired a bookkeeper for 2 hours a month. "I'm not a numbers person," she admitted. "Trying to force myself to be one was draining hours and confidence I didn't have to spare." Your scaffold team might look different. Maybe it's swapping childcare with a neighbor so you both get focused work time, finding an affordable virtual assistant for admin tasks, joining a writing group if you're working on a book, or simply telling one trusted friend, "I'm trying something new. Can I text you when I feel like giving up?" The pivot isn't about finding a guru or spending a fortune. It's about identifying where you're straining alone and letting one piece of that weight be held by someone else, even temporarily. It frees up mental space to actually build, which leads us perfectly into Pivot 4, flexing your micro-risk muscle. This is where so many dreams stall. We see the giant leap, quitting our job, investing our savings, launching publicly, and freeze. Sarah felt it too. The gap between her cozy Saturday baking and opening a real business felt like staring into the Grand Canyon. So she didn't jump. She took a tiny, almost laughably small step across. Her first micro-risk? Renting a local community kitchen for 4 hours on a Sunday afternoon to bake 10 loaves. Not to sell for profit, but to give away. No money exchanged hands, she said. Just me proving to myself I could operate outside my home kitchen. And if it flopped, I'd lost $75 and an afternoon. No catastrophe. The act itself was simple. The psychological shift was massive. She proved she could tolerate uncertainty and survive. Your micro-risk might be sharing a draft of your poetry with 3 friends instead of hiding it, taking a single freelance gig in your desired field while keeping your day job, booking that pottery class you've eyed for years, not to become a master, just to touch clay. The goal isn't the outcome, it's practicing courage. Each tiny yes to something that scares you just a little, but won't ruin your life if it fails, builds resilience. It rewires your brain from "what if I fail?" to "I can handle not knowing." What Sarah discovered, and what you will too, is that these pivots build on each other. That untouchable hour, Pivot 1, gave her clarity. Embracing done perfect, Pivot 2, built momentum. Her scaffold team, Pivot 3, held space for her growth. And taking micro-risks, Pivot 4, transformed fear into fuel. She wasn't suddenly fearless. She was becoming fear-savvy. Next time, we'll explore the final 2 pivots, the ones that truly cement the transformation from stuck to self-made. They're about sustainability and redefining what success actually looks like when you're building a life, not just a resume. Until then, who's one person you could invite onto your scaffold team this week? And what's one micro-risk, so small it almost feels silly, that you could take? Don't overthink it. Just pick one. That's how courage grows.